what is the 1948 case, how does it work, and where you have to file. But first of all, the main question that we have to share with you today: is the 1948 case of Italian citizenship about to change? There are a few rumors in the air about the 1948 case, so today we want to share with you a few important things that may be relevant eventually in the future. This is Marco Bersani from the Bersani Law Firm and Partners from Italy, an Italian law firm specialized on Italian immigration law, specifically on the 1948 case and Italian citizenship application. So don't waste any more time, let's start right now. The 1948 case is when you can apply for Italian dual citizenship by descent, but you cannot go through an Italian consulate. Why that? Because the so-called 1948 cases are not ruled by a law in Italy, and it's when you have in your family line, your bloodline, you have a woman that had her child before the year 1948. So why it's so important that year? That year the Italian constitution was, for the first time, was approved in Italy. And so before that year, all women were not recognized for passing Italian dual citizenship, because before that year the women were not recognized to have equal rights like men. So for the first time the Italian constitution recognized equality, the principle of equality of rights between men and women. So for example, a typical case, if you have like your grandmother that had your father before the year 1948 case, well, you have this type of case, and you can claim your Italian dual citizenship by descent only through an Italian court, only through an Italian judge. Only a judge can recognize you this status, your citizenship by descent. The 1948 case is now very well established case since the year 2009, so don't worry about the approval. I mean, your case, if you are eligible, will be approved. So this is briefly the 1948 case. Of course, don't worry if you have any doubts or questions about the situation, or maybe you think that you fall under the 1948 case, you can just contact us through our website, so we can evaluate your case, your eligibility for free. Don't worry about that. Now you have clear what is a 1948 case. You know that it's a specific case that you can file only through an Italian court. So what is happening right now? Are there any changes? We were talking at the beginning of the video about rumors, or seems that the 1948 cases may be changed in the future. So what is happening? I would like to start from a really recent case that we won for the 1948 case rule. You know that since July 2022, you have not to file your cases in Rome anymore, but into the through the Italian immigration court, the Italian local immigration court, depending on where your ancestor was born. Now, in this case, we won the 1948 case. So just to briefly talk about the case, so you can also understand what are the legal basis of the case. Our client had her grandmother who had her father before the year 1948. The case was filed, so we proved the Italian heritage as an unbroken line, and so the judge says, yes, this is a 1948 case. I recognize to the client the Italian dual citizenship status, the Italian dual citizenship by descent right, according to the old law, the law 555 of the year 1912. Women were not recognized to pass Italian citizenship to child. It's absolutely unconstitutional, so it's a discrimination of women against women, and so we can approve your case because women must be able to pass Italian citizenship to child too. The 1948 case is technically a lawsuit that you are filing against the ministry. The Ministry of Internal Affairs in Italy is the authority, the government authority that will approve Italian citizenship application. So technically, we are establishing a lawsuit against the ministry by saying there is no way for you to apply and approve my Italian citizenship application, and so I file a lawsuit because I force you to recognize my Italian citizenship rights. And so that's why in this case, at the hearing date, the ministry came and says, well, I have nothing to argue about the case, against the case, so for us, I mean, we can recognize, of course, the Italian citizenship to your client. The ministry were also talking about in general the 1948 case, and they said that they are already pushing the government and the parliament, of course, in Italy, to regulate the 1948 case. That is really interesting because it's the first time that the ministry, so the lawyers of the ministry, expressly talk about pushing the government to approve a law specific for the 1948 case. Since now, and right now, there are no laws regulating the 1948 case. That's why you cannot file a case through an Italian consulate, but you have to file through an Italian court. Only a court, because there are no laws, only a court can recognize your rights. So here's the question, the main question: what will happen if in the future, I don't know, next year maybe, we will have a new law specifically for the 1948 case? What does it change for my case, for my application for a 1948 case? Technically speaking, what it changes is the authority that will evaluate your case. So you should file your case through an Italian consulate if you are living abroad, and not anymore through an Italian court. In practical, in our opinion, it won't change anything. Why? Well, you know that because we already talked in another video that I'll link to you here above me. Right now, it's literally impossible to apply through the local Italian consulate. It's literally impossible to book an appointment, to find an appointment, and to have an application approved in maximum 2 years, as the law requires right now. For the Italian dual citizenship by descent through the local Italian consulate, 90% of people are unable, and in some cases 100% of people are unable to book appointments at the local Italian consulate. So all these people, because of lack of appointments, are applying through a local immigration court. If, like in 5 years, for example, we will have a new law for 1948 cases, well, if the situation will remain the same, so the lack of appointments, well, in this case, we will continue to file your 1948 case through the court. Documents will be the same, there are no different documents for the 1948 case, so the process for documentation is the same. Of course, we will keep you updated on that, don't worry, and that's why you need to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You will immediately receive a notification, so you will be the first one to know about the new rules, if there will be new rules. And you can also follow us on our social media, on Facebook, on Twitter, and on LinkedIn too. Anyway, we will post you all the updates. So do not hesitate to contact us through our website, that it's also here below into the description, and contact us so we can analyze your case, your family situation, and we will advise you on the best way for coming here in Italy. Thank you so much, and see you on the next video.